Hey guys, what's up? I'm Noah. Or Noah's back here. Today I'm not really doing much. Woman accidentally glues eyeshadow. Super. Woman accidentally glues eyes shut with super glue. Super glue. Girl loses an eye too. Oh my god. If you guys want to watch this, tell me.
It is weird having tons of people questioning your motivations, questioning your sanity.
Okay, you guys want to see it?
Yes, I'll take my time. Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
To reach there, look up at the mountain.
Jesus freaking. Look at that. You guys probably can't see. But.
Tomo News presents. Ay, 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 ay. Tomo News presents. Ay, 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 ay. Ah, my eyes! Florida woman accidentally superglues her eyes shut. Catherine Gatos says she spent more than a week with a stuck eyelid after a friend mistakenly handed her superglue instead of an eye drop. After the man inadvertently blew debris into her eye with a leaf blower, the single mother of two found herself frantically asking him to grab Visine out of her purse late last month. Rather than the eye drops, though, the foolish friend, adding injury to injury, instead reportedly handed Katie the bottle of glue she uses to apply false fingernails. His unfortunate mistake was all too obvious the moment the liquid hit Katie's eye, as it left her cornea burning like a California grass fire and tightly sealed her two left eyelids shut. Katie immediately sought help and quickly got preliminary treatment, but lacking both money and insurance was denied a necessary follow-up.
This is bad. You guys can watch
After
because I
word
don't
got
want
out
to get
about her story,
copyrighted.
Katie finally got the attention she so desperately needed, and the doctor was able to quite literally pry her eye open. Once the remaining glue is scraped off her cornea, doctors say she'll eventually gain back her eyesight and won't suffer any long-term damage.
Oh my
Pimple
god.
turns out to be a rare fatal eye cancer for 5-year-old girl. In Indore City, India, Artie
Oh my
Singh is just 5
God.
years old and dying from a rare cancerous tumor growing in her eye. Artie suffers from rhinoblastoma, a
That's my
rapidly
favorite
developing
eye.
cancer that develops from the immature cells of the retina. Unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Singh ignored the initial indicators of the cancer, mistaking it for a pimple. The so-called pimple then became a small open sore that persisted for several months. It wasn't until Artie began complaining of pain in her eye and poor vision that her parents took her to the village doctor. The doctor told them they'd have to take the toddler to a major hospital in nearby Indore City. The diagnosis doctors gave Artie's parents is grim. The tumor had grown so large it had devoured Artie's eye and spread into the 5-year-old's brain, so surgery was out of the question. The toddler's hemoglobin level is too low for doctors to give her chemotherapy, so they're only able to treat her to raise the hemoglobin level. If they can raise her hemoglobin level high enough, they'll be able to administer chemotherapy. But the cancer may devour her brain and kill her before. It's now a race against time to see if doctors can save the 5-year-old's life. Her parents are distraught and blame themselves for their daughter's condition.
I'm not doing
They said they no
anything,
longer
but
care if doctors are able to save Artie's vision. They just want them to save her
please
life.
subscribe.
A new fad is sweeping Japan. Eyeball licking. Yes, that's right. Eyeball licking. Where one person, usually an impressionable teenager, unrolls his or her tongue and swabs another person's bare naked eyeball with it. The kids are so into it that they even do it at school. But why? Oh, why, you might ask yourself.
The heck?
Well, it seems that slobbering all over the bazillions of nerves in the cornea feels good. It's like a new second base, or something. And some folks believe this is the music video that set the craze ablaze.
I'm
There are
just.
dangers associated with eyeball licking, which is also called worming, or oculolinctus if you're a grown-up. Doctors are reporting increased rates of conjunctivitis, and most disturbingly, eye chlamydia. I bet you didn't know that existed. Will this phenomenon spread to the U.S.? Keep your eyes peeled. Or don't.
Unfaithful Chinese woman's eye gouged out by abusive husband. A middle-aged woman's left eye was gouged out by her husband after she had an affair with another man. Mrs. Lee, age 39, got to know a man identified in reports by his nickname Along on the internet. After dating for 3 months, he forced her to marry him. Along often beat Lee. She wanted to divorce him, but was unable to do so because her husband was in possession of all of her identity documents. Lee eventually found a part-time job and fell in love with a new guy. When Along found out, he rushed to the house where she was staying and gouged her left eye out with his bare hands. After the brutal attack, he sent her to a local hospital and turned himself in.
What's next, people? To stab yourself in the head with a hunting knife challenge? This is
Thanks.
Skylar Fish before he tried the duct tape challenge. This is Skylar now. He needed 48 staples in his head and is blind in one eye. Skylar isn't smart. Don't be like Skylar. The duct tape challenge has been around for at least 3 years, but 14-year-old Renton, Washington genius Skylar Fish just got around to it on January 16, 2016. In case you're not hip enough to know, the duct tape challenge involves attempting to free yourself after being duct taped to something. Everyone, from school principals to Batman apparently, has tried it, but Skylar here changed the rules. Instead of being taped to something, Skylar went freeform and tried to free himself from himself. Deep, we know. But humans aren't real good at staying upright with restricted limbs. The physics of balance or something. But to sum it up, he tripped, and it was not a good trip. Falling over his own feet, Skylar slammed his undefended face into a concrete wall and a metal window frame. Result? 1 broken eye socket, 2 broken cheekbones, a massive head wound, and a near-fatal aneurysm. Skylar's mom says if his friends hadn't flipped him over, he would have choked on his own blood. The accident left Skylar very possibly permanently blind in his left eye, and he'll need months of rehab. Skylar made a dumb choice, but he seems like a good kid, telling the media, when I think about it, like, I become sad, and then really happy. I'm happy because I survived it. I almost died. So, when will you be trying the duct tape challenge?
Never.
In a truly
Never
brutal case
do
of human
that.
cruelty,
Never
a young
do
boy
that,
from China's
guys.
northern Shanxi province was kidnapped near his home on Monday evening, only to be found hours later wailing in pain with his eyes gouged out in what appears to be an attack carried out by black market organ traffickers. 6-year-old Bin Bin went into the street near his house to play sometime before 6 p.m. An hour or two later, his mother called him inside, but he was nowhere to be found. A farmer found the young boy in a field hours later, covered in blood, his eye sockets empty. Police found the child's eyes nearby. The corneas had been removed. On the way to hospital, Bin Bin told his distraught father what he remembered. His story tells of a woman who drugged him before cutting his eyes out. She apparently said to him, don't cry, and I won't gouge out your eyes." Corneas for corrective eyesight surgery are in high demand as they can be taken from people of any age and any blood type. Anyone who knows where the corneas are located in the eye can extract them. Police are offering a 100,000 renminbi reward for information leading to the arrest of the suspect. With massive demand for organs in China and only limited supply, a thriving illegal organ trade has developed.
Oh my
Children's
God.
organs fetch a higher price, one organ trader told Chinese media in 2010. Most people think the younger the donor is, the better the quality of organs, the unnamed trafficker said.
Father uses Find My iPhone app to locate and kill phone thief. Derek Grant, the UK father, and 3 of his sons have faced court over the stabbing death of iPhone thief
Oh my
Patrick Bradley.
gosh, it's
20-year-old
just
Jordan
messed
Grant was
up.
leaving his job at McDonald's when Bradley robbed him of his iPhone at knife point. At home, Jordan and his father Derek used Find My iPhone to pinpoint the phone, and at the same time Bradley's location. Derek grabbed a kitchen knife, then he and his 3 boys found Bradley and demanded the iPhone back. That's when Bradley stabbed the elder Grant in the left eye. Derek Grant then struck back in self-defense, stabbing Bradley multiple times. Bradley died of cardiac arrest. Grant and his sons were all charged with murder. Derek Grant, who lost his truck driving job due to being blind in one eye, pled guilty to culpable homicide. His sons have all pled not guilty to murder.
Man decapitates wife, kills dogs, gouges his own eye, and chops his own arm off. Phoenix, Arizona man Keith Wakefield allegedly murdered his wife and 2 dogs before gouging out his own eye and chopping his left forearm off.
Please subscribe,
The body
bro.
of 49-year-old Trina Haish was found in the couple's closet on July 26th.
Why?
43-year-old Wakefield reportedly hid her decapitated body in the closet with the bodies of their 2 dogs. He then decided to inflict harm on himself by gouging out his own right eye and using a knife to cut off his left arm below the elbow. The grisly crime was discovered when a neighbor knocked on the door to check in on the couple, who had reportedly met at a mental health clinic. Trina had been found guilty, except insane, for second-degree attempted murder charges for stabbing her 15-year-old son in 2000. Wakefield was treated for his self-inflicted injuries and taken to jail. He has a history of criminal mental illness, including a 10-year stint at a mental hospital for a 2003 stabbing.
Why?
Woman goes blind in one eye after mud run. A Texas woman is now blind in one eye after she was infected with flesh-eating bacteria while competing in a mud run in Dallas earlier this month. Flesh-eating bacteria is an infection caused by the bacterium Streptococcus pyogenes. The bacteria can enter the human body through minor cuts or abrasions. Once inside the body, the bacteria produces toxins that destroy tissue, such as muscles.
That's why I don't do this
Brittany
stuff.
Williams caught the flesh-eating bacteria after cutting her eye during a Dallas mud run around 2 weeks ago, and within 24 hours, the bacteria had destroyed her cornea. Williams has 2 jobs but no health insurance. Her family has set up a fundraising campaign to collect money to cover her $100,000 medical bills.
Please, I really, really,
Peruvian doctors use basil to lure a worm out of a boy's eye.
What?
Doctors in Peru successfully used basil leaves to lure a worm out of a teenage boy's eye.